So I'm so honored that you would do this. I guess the goal behind it is that every woman, no matter where they are, what season in life they find themselves in, that they would kind of relate to what you have to say. And so you're in a different season than I'm in. You have some little ones right now,
Very
and
little.
I'm beyond that stage. I do miss it sometimes, but I know you well, but I know everyone listening or watching today doesn't know you well. So why don't you just tell me a little bit about yourself, your family?
Okay, my name is Devon. I've been married to my husband Ryan for 9 years, and we have 2 little ones. We have a son, Sydney, who's 20 months old, and a little girl, Maggie, who is almost 3 months old. So we are a busy house.
Yes.
I mean, like everyone, but
very busy house. So how are you juggling it? What's it like being in this new season for you?
I honestly can say that I'm not juggling at all. It's a struggle. I say, a lot of days it feels like we're on the struggle bus.
Yeah.
But no, it constantly just feels like one area has to slack. Like
right.
The kids are going to be taken care of. That's kind of a given. I'm going to give them my attention. And so either my house is moderately clean, or I've got, dinner planned and cooked and groceries in my house, or I'm being a good employee and like putting in extra work hours. But like doing all of those things, I just haven't quite mastered that balance yet.
Yeah, that employee and like child dynamic, parenting dynamic has been so challenging for me. For a lot of what I do is from home, similar to you, and so it's like and I want to get in the zone,
right.
And like I want to do this well. And it's kind of my nature is like to be excellent, and
right.
And then at the same time, I'm hearing mommy, 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 and I'm like, I don't know, what am I supposed to be doing now? How do I juggle these two things?
Right.
And so for me, I found, and I'm sure I know this is the same for you, is putting God first, on a daily basis. It's like not like it's a good idea, but like for my sanity.
Right.
What does that look like for you? How do you do that on a daily basis?
Yeah, it's something I like it's a decision you have to make every day, because most mornings I'm tired. I've been up feeding Maggie, and and the days are full and tiring, and so most mornings I just kind of want to stay in bed as long as possible.
Right.
Like I do not want to get out of bed until I'm needed. Like
Yeah.
when Ryan's walking out the door, both kids are awake and needing me, but I've just found that when I can take the time to like get up and get some quiet time by myself, spend some time in the Word, spend some time in prayer, I end up feeling more rested and have more energy than if I would have just gotten that extra 30 or 45 minutes of sleep. It's really become an important part of my day and my sanity, to just spend that time with God beforehand and say, I need Him to make it through this and try and be a pleasant person. It's like, because we can grind it out, but I know it won't be the best time.
Yeah. So like going into this Mother's Day service, I was just thinking, kind of the idea behind it was, I was just thinking about how we all have these hats that we have to put on. And in some seasons it might just be 1 or 2 hats, but in other seasons it's like all these multiple hats that we're like putting on, and it seems sometimes impossible to do everything well, like you said. And but I guess I wanted to really emphasize the importance of just clothing ourselves in Christ and saying, okay, I'm going to put the daughter of God hat on first.
Right.
And so for you, how have you experienced that?
Yeah, that time I spend in the morning, and it kind of sets me up for the rest of the day to remember to lean on Him instead of my own strengths. I mean, when we're having a hard time, when Sydney doesn't take a nap, or when Maggie's been fussy all day, my instinct is to feel angry and frustrated and trapped in this life I've have right now. But when I can focus on Him and the blessings He's given me, that I have these 2 beautiful children that I get to spend my days with, and just kind of have that posture of gratitude for that, and can lean on Him for patience and strength and energy that I just don't have on my own, and just knowing that I'm not enough and I don't have to be, and it's better that I'm not. It's like I'm so much better with Him than I am on my own. And so just feeling comforted by that, and not like I have to carry it all on my shoulders, because
That's so good. So for you right now, what are the areas of insecurity for you as you're navigating motherhood?
I mean, like we talked about, it's like I so want to do everything well. Like I so want to have kids that are happy and look cute and are, dressed in semi-matching clean clothes. And, I want to have that facade of, yes, I have a tidy house and I'm working and doing all those things. And my kids are doing all the activities and the sensory play and all.
I know.
Like I put a lot of pressure on myself to kind of work on all these outward things when those aren't the things that matter. But it feels like the things that I can control, And so I think... like just recognizing that I'm not in control, that that the things that really matter are not these tiny little insignificant parts. So just kind of keeping my focus on the kingdom and long-term health of my kids, both spiritually, physically, emotionally, and not getting caught up in the little I don't know.
No, that's so good. I think that's so right on. And there is this like immense, I love how you say those are the things that you can control, because I'm very much like that. I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like this is the things that I know that I can nail, but they aren't necessarily the most important things, And then there's also this outside pressure, I think, that we feel as moms. And I don't know if it was always this way, but I feel like it's grown.
For sure.
That, all these milestones and like benchmarks, for a child that seems to be like one size fits all, but they're not one size fits all. What are your prayers right now? What are you praying over your kids? And even for yourself, what are you praying, God, help me in this?
For my children, they're so young. It's like my biggest prayer is just that they would grow up to love God and to want to serve them with their lives, and that, that they would find friends and be in the right school, like all those things that feel big. But really just that they would see God's love through my husband and I's love for them, and how we interact with each other, and how we interact with our community and our church. Like I just want them to see that, to see the love that God has for them. And for myself, it's constantly just, I pray for patience, pray for compassion for my kids.
Sleep.
Yes, and honestly, like every night, please let no sleep well. Like please, let us.
Because everything's better.
Everything is easier when you're rested, for sure. And so so it's like just those practical, God help us in this area, help Maggie's stomach not to hurt, help her to sleep peacefully, help them to get all the nutrition and the growth and stay healthy, those kind of things, but also just that they would grow up knowing God's love and pursuing a life that serves Him.
Yeah, that's so good. So you mentioned just like the kingdom and them embracing that, and the church. What role does the church play in this season for you?
I mean, I think the church can play a huge role when we let it. I think that takes authenticity. It takes being vulnerable with people. It takes telling them the areas we're struggling in, whether it's practically or spiritually. But I think when you do share those things with others, that you have prayer partners, that you have people that can step in and help when you need it. And I've leaned on people in our church for all of those things. So it can play a huge helping role when we kind of let our guard down and allow those in our community to help.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so glad we had this conversation today. And I mean, there was just a wealth of wisdom, so I hope that they're listening today, because I know that they're going to receive something. So thank you so much, Devon.
Thanks for letting me be a part of it.